This isn't anything special. I can't sleep, and it's almost 5 in the morning here, and I want to be a healthy human being, but I seem to dig my own hole, if you will, and I don't know what to do about it. So rather than wallow by myself, I guess this is a way of reaching out, not necessarily asking for help, but just trying to clarify my own thoughts, maybe get myself tired enough to go to sleep. I don't know. Lots happened, and a lot is on my mind, but when is that a surprise these days? I don't really have anything constructive to say currently, except don't do what I'm doing, which is unhealthy sleeping habits. But when your mind is clouded as mine, it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world. It's doable, but it takes a lot of work that your body just does not seem to have, and it's just this whole monotonous process. I don't even know. I don't. This is a pointless video full of doubt and depression. Will there be a point? Probably not, except for expressing my own discomfort with myself. But I will say, I did have a not so great epiphany recently. About a week or two ago, or something along those lines. I rediscovered that I genuinely hate myself. And I don't mean I just dislike myself. I mean the genuine burning passion of hatred. And that was a bit of a shock for me. I thought I was doing better in that department, you know? Like, I was becoming more proactive, although that's still happening. It's not like I haven't been getting better, but I thought I was at the point where there were things I didn't approve of that I've done in the past, and things that I'm trying to do better and all that, but there was a night that was just particularly emotional, and my demons came out and decided to pay a visit to my consciousness. And that was kind of it was a big letdown, you know. Knowing that you still feel the way you felt about yourself years ago, it sucks. And you wonder if it'll ever change. And for me, just being able to recognize that was odd. Like, I wasn't surprised, which makes sense in a very confusing way, but now that I know that it hasn't changed, despite everything I've thought I've done, I can now take a look at myself of what I have done and evaluate it and see what I can do to improve upon it. One thing for me that I've always valued is self-awareness. That's something that I've always had, that I've been very good at. And don't get me wrong, I have plenty of things I still don't know about myself, because humans are complicated beings, and there's a lot in this world that holds sway over us. And it could be almost impossible if you have no way of coping or even learning. And when I realized that, I have been able to get a better perspective, understand why I still feel this way. And although I haven't quite gotten to the point where I fully understand why I despise myself, I know that I don't just despise myself. And I know that's really strange, and for a lot of people that can seem counterintuitive. However, I would like to point out that humans are not just one thing. They never were meant to be. We're many things. My more recent roleplay video played into this a little bit, my belief in all of that, which is that we are more than the sum of our parts, and we need to understand that feelings, they're not black and white. Never have been, never will be. You can feel an abundance of emotion at the same time. You don't just feel hatred. You don't just feel sadness. There is a combination of multiple emotions at any given time. And there's a reason for that. What that reason is isn't always clear, but there always is a reason. And for me, I take comfort in that, knowing that even though I don't understand what's going on in my brain and outside of me and all that, that there is a reason. Now the problem is, how do we get to that reason? And the way the world works now, how in a lot of senses emotions are frowned upon, and it may not seem like it, but crying is a really good thing. It helps you process the truth about yourself, because if you feel so much that your body has a physical reaction to it, that means you need to pay attention to it. Figure it out. What is it that's making you feel the way that you're feeling? And is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Now, good or bad obviously can be very subjective, but I'd like to think good means something that, like, something that we strive for. These are the things that are positive, that better our lives, that make us more, that make us more. And then bad are the things that confine us, that make us trapped, that keep us from accomplishing things that we want or need to do. Now, of course, this can be debated, but I think there's something to be said for accomplishment, and I'm pretty sure right now I've accomplished a full-on you don't know where you're going anymore with this ramble, so good job for me. Should I stop talking? Probably. Will I stop talking? No. Why? Because there's things I need to say. Because I can't sleep and I might as well do it now while my brain is active. Which is always true to an extent, but that's not the point. Point is, I've tried so many things to try and improve myself, and right now I'm doing something that I don't normally do, and I guess that's all I can do right now is try something new. I mean, I've done things similar to it. That's why I figured that this would be conducive help, maybe. I might do more of these. I might not do them ever again. That probably isn't true. There's a lot in my brain that I need to express, and is this attention seeking? I mean, how is it not attention seeking? But is that a bad thing? Like I said before, this is extremely subjective. And I'm talking to myself while I'm saying all of this. But I also know that maybe people will see this that I don't know, and that could affect them in some fashion. And I don't mean, like, offend them or anything, because, if someone's going to be offended, that is a decision they have made, and I haven't, what I mean is, I'm not intentionally going out to offend a person. I'm not doing anything in an attempt to harm or hurt anyone in any way. So, therefore, if someone does get offended, it was not because of the actions I took, it is because of what they're feeling when they listen to this and how they decide to react to it. Now, is that bad? That's a discussion to be had, I would imagine. This is all just a big mess, but I guess humans are a big mess. Everybody's a big mess. You just look appealing sometimes, aesthetically, for science. How long is this? Oh, wow, almost 15 minutes. Yay! There was something I wanted to say, what was it? There is this person on YouTube, her name is Amelia Fart, and I may put her name in the title. I'm not sure yet, because I never know what I'm titling my videos until after I'm posting them. But one of the things that she does in her videos, I really like. I really relate to. And I guess I'm kind of doing it now, which is just talking and exploring my consciousness and what river of thought and emotion is swirling through this big old noodle of mine. And I honestly just adore her behavior. You know, she's wild. She does not fit in if, like, with normal people. She isn't. She's just herself. And I can relate to that so much. Like, there are so many things, so many little things that I do that are not socially pleasant, I guess. I don't want to say acceptable, because they're not bad things. Like, I just make noises all the time. Like, I can be really loud because I'm emotional and I don't know where to put all of that energy. So I do weird things and I over exaggerate because I feel so much. And just being able to partake in somebody else's weirdness gives me comfort. So I guess what I'm saying is that Amelia comforts me. And that's odd, because what she's doing isn't exactly comforting to in a stereotypical traditional sense. Like, she's not singing a lullaby, she's not giving a pep talk, although she does do that on occasion, unintentionally. But it's refreshing, her honesty. Her titles don't have clickbait for the most part that I've noticed. I don't remember any anyway, and that's what I strive to do as well. I don't like clickbait. Clickbait can go die in a hole, get buried 6 feet underground, rot and decay and be forgotten, because clickbait should not exist. I understand that it does exist, I understand that it will exist. And that's, you know, I have made my peace with that part. It's just the concept of clickbait irks me to no end. I get that people have quotas to meet and lives to live and money to make. I understand all these things. I'm not holding it against them. Like, I'm not judging the people who clickbait. I am simply expressing my distaste for clickbait itself. How did I even get to this topic? I don't know. It's probably at least 5 now. I should be sleeping. I should be unconscious. I should be dreaming. I hate my dreams, by the way. I know that's random. Well, not as random, but I don't like my dreams because they make me feel gross. Like, all these feelings of guilt or oddly suggestive content. It's weird. Like, they didn't used to be suggestive at all. They used to be nightmares mostly. Like, there were some okay dreams, but I don't remember them. The only dreams that stick are the ones that spook me. Like, there's this one dream where this gang or this group of people was trying to kidnap my little sister, and I went and I ran and I hid her in a restaurant for some reason, but they still found her and took her away, and it just repeated a few times, and I kept trying to keep her away from them, and they kept taking her, and I cried so much. Probably one of the worst dreams I've ever had. And I've only had it once. It was odd. I was really, really young, so I knew I wasn't physically capable of keeping her from these people beyond running away. So when they came in my brain, I was just like, crap, what do I do now? Oh, she's gone. And there's a couple one about raptors, like the ones from Jurassic Park. Not Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, because Jurassic World wasn't out back then. Like when I was 7 or 8. And one instance, my family and friends or whoever mattered to me at the time, we were all driving, and then we parked our cars and we were doing something, and there were dinosaurs on the loose, and then one raptor took something from the inside of one of the cars and pulled it out, and the car exploded. I don't think anybody died though. It was really random, and I don't know how the car exploded because they just took something out and the car wasn't on or anything. It was very odd. And then there's another one where a group of people with me, and we were searching for or hiding from something or something like that, and we turn a corner and a raptor comes and bites my neck, and then it starts over, and it does that over and over until I woke up. It was odd. There's another one where I was eating applesauce and I took a spoonful from one section of it, and then I ate it, and then lightning struck, and I knew for whatever reason I couldn't eat from that side anymore, so I did it from a different side, and then it happened again, and then after the whole thing was taken over. I woke up and it was really random. That's that's my earliest dream that I remember, I think. There's another dream where I was with a bunch of kids. A couple I knew, most I didn't. And we were in a tiny castle barracks thing. It was very small. And there was the front yard and a wall with a gate in front of it. And for some reason, there's this knight on a horse with a, whatever they're called, the big, long, pointy lanyard, no, lance thing. They use it in jousting, one of those. And, we were stacking cans to try and keep the doors towards the gate shut, but it didn't work. He knew we were there, and we could feel him coming, and then when he was getting close, we ran out the back and started running. And I was like looking at everybody, trying to make sure that we were safe and running, and then I go back. I close my eyes and I head back there and do it all over again, only this time he catches us, and oh goodness, he was terrifying. I have no idea what any of that meant, if it meant anything at all. And there was a dream I had. It was like a giant water slide park on top of an ocean. Just a bunch of water slides congealed into one giant ride, and you slid down and then you'd come back up and slide down again. But there's this one, a big one, that was actually a giant sea creature. It was his mouth. And if you if you went in there, then he'd eat you. Kind of. Like, you'd just sitting there. And I don't think you'd ever come out. I don't remember. There was no stomach acid or anything. I just was sitting in his mouth. Along with a couple other people. But I was running around. And there was also, like, a jungle gym in there with dirt. It was random. And there was some kids teasing me, and I was really sad because I was just trying to defend myself, and I was like, I'm not trying to do anything here. Why are you making fun of me? Like, I just want to play with you guys. And they were like, nah, you're small, you're little, you can't do anything, you can't run. And this was when I was like 13, 14 or something, I don't remember. And then we had a gym teacher who also insulted me and said I was, like, bad or something. I don't remember the exact words. And I woke up crying. That was fun. And I either jumped or I think it was both. Was both pushed into the mouth of the sea creature and jumped in voluntarily because I was in a lot of emotional pain, and I woke up actually crying. And that was one of the few times that I heard myself talk in my sleep because I woke up whispering. It was very odd. Do I have any others? There was one where I was in like a big space that changed a lot, and there was a bus, and I had to get on the bus and go somewhere, or find someone, or stay away from somebody. And it just, the scenery kept changing, and I just kept doing it over and over again. It was odd. I remember that one time I dreamt that I ate chicken and drank milk. That was a thing. And I was looking for my brother, maybe. I don't know. There's this one dream that actually inspired a story idea of mine. Basically what happened was I was running towards someone, and I look down and I see that I have these, like, hairy legs, like of a wolf, like a werewolf, kind of more the gangly, tufty, grungy kind, but it was very strong. And then I stop at this little chain link fence, and it's circling this small area that has and one of those things for that powers electricity, like a small facility of that. And then there was also like this swamp looking stuff. It was like gasoline, but also just swamp. That's all I can remember. It just looked swampy. And then this really big fat guy just comes up out of the swamp, and he's dressed in this like light tan suit with a white button-up shirt and like a purple. It like switched from a dark purple bluish to a white / very light pink. I don't know. And then this boy comes in, and he like strikes, like does something to him, and then he just sinks back into the ground. And yeah, that was the beginning of an idea where this girl dies and then is reborn in a way. And the way that happened was her world that she lives on, or maybe the bloodline she was born into. Your heart has a list of things that you need to do in your life, like a set of goals, so to speak. And there was a list for when you were alive, and there was a list for when you were dead. And for some reason, this girl died after her. Well, okay, so she completed all her living tasks, so she just immediately dies. And then the leftover energy from what her life could have been, or what she would have become, transforms her into this werewolfy kind of undead thing, but it's not a zombie, which doesn't make sense, because she can shift from the bestial form, which gives her strength, speed, the ability to jump really far and sense things and speak a lot of languages, to her regular form, it seemed like her heart had a hidden power in it that only activated after she crossed the threshold of death. And then, like in my dream, she's running, she goes to this place that's very odd and disconcerting, and she needs to fight this man that somehow escapes hell, and she has to bring him back into hell. So I guess it's a demon, but it was a man, I guess. But he had abused his gift of life. And, so she was fighting him, but before she was able to really do much, the boy comes in and he says, "The master sent his regards," or something like that, and your soul is now his or mine or whatever. I can't remember what I wrote down for that, but he says something ominous and then snaps his fingers, and the man just instantly goes back into hell. And then they become friends, because she has no idea what's going on. She's just following her heart, which is a very interesting concept, I think, but I have to flesh it out some more before it actually becomes interesting. And they're now part of a underground society thing, and the boy, he was supposed to go to hell, but for reasons that I have not quite figured out yet, he was able to work for someone in hell in order to get a second chance at living. And I think the girl, once she completes all her tasks, will ascend to heaven, but she's not sure she wants to even be what she is. She wants to go back to the life that she was living, because it was cut short and there was so much she was going to do. So she's stuck in this odd limbo where she has the uncontrollable urge to complete what her heart has set her out to do, but she also has this need, this desire to be what she wants to be, not just what she needs to be. And yeah, that's a thing. It's complicated. I should try to sleep. It's past 5 at this point, and I'm kind of tired. I can convince my brain to shut down, quotation mark. Yeah, thanks for listening for about almost 40 minutes. That's an accomplishment. I do plan to continue. Just as a reminder, I will still be making more of the ASMR roleplays. Not just because I want to, but because I know that there are people who happen to like them, and I thank you for that. And, yeah. Peace to you, humans.